Schrödinger's deed. Originally posted in R. Legal Advice by You, House Thief 2322. Colorado. What do I do with my house? Just leave the keys on the counter? Like many Americans, I lost my job in 2008 and couldn't afford my mortgage. I had a friend in a similar situation and he just stopped trying and said he'd move out when he got evicted. I didn't feel I had much of a choice. So I did the same thing. I was out of work for 15 months and never made a single payment during that time. During this time I got several notices of late payment, notices of pending eviction, and then nothing. It never happened. 12 years later I'm still here and I haven't made a single mortgage payment. As you can imagine, during this time I also fell behind on my property taxes. Eventually I was able to pay off the delinquent taxes, and I've continued to pay them on time every year since. To be honest, I'm not even sure who owns my house anymore. No one has even mailed me anything about it. I looked it up on the county records and I'm still listed as the owner. Now to my question, frankly the house is too big for me now and I'd like to downsize. My kids have moved out and my wife passed in 2016. I just don't need this house. The county thinks I own it. How do I tell them I don't and I've just been living here rent-free? Ironically, I'm worried if I just leave no one will pay the property taxes and then I'll have a new problem to deal with. Thanks. Update Colorado. What do I do with my house? Just leave the keys on the counter? I want to thank everyone for the advice on my last post and to give a brief update. I spoke to an attorney about it and she started looking into it. First thing she said is that I am still the owner and that the eviction process was never completed. She also told me there's still a lien on the house, which is where it gets interesting. My mortgage was ultimately sold to a second mortgage company which no longer exists. The second mortgage company that had my mortgage was absorbed by a third company, which went bankrupt and collapsed. Because I've been maintaining the property and paying property taxes, coupled with no lineholder asserting their rights, she believes she can get the lineholder removed from the title. So as it turns out, I may end up owning my home free and clear after all. Unfortunately, she doesn't know how long everything will take, so I don't anticipate an update for a while. But thank you all. Reminder, I am not the op. I can't imagine the stress of having the thought that someone will show any day and take your house. For 12 years. But man, the glorious feeling of having a huge asset you didn't know you had would be incredible. My mortgage was ultimately sold to a second mortgage company which no longer exists. The second mortgage company that had my mortgage was absorbed by a third company, which went bankrupt and collapsed. Because I've been maintaining the property and paying property taxes, coupled with no lineholder asserting their rights, she believes she can get the lineholder removed from the title. Oop has achieved the American dream. If he's free and clear, he's slipped through the cracks in the system and has come out ahead. I claim this energy. Mortgage companies hate this one weird trick. This is very interesting. Thank you, op. The modern American dream. This story is the most beautiful story I've ever read. Lol. Dude got a lottery. Love this. Like the guy above said. Tim Heidecker voice. It's free real estate. https i.kymcdn.com/photos/images/originals/001/759/7c9.gif. Where do I sign up for the free house hustle? Oh wow, that's hilarious. Good on him paying the taxes all this time. I remember when the worst of the crisis of 2008 was happening and some people were getting out of their evictions by forcing the banks to prove they owned the loans. Turns out that banks selling mortgages in a package to fly-by-night aggregators with bad records. Keeping practices was sometimes helpful to the homeowners. Welp. This is the kind of happy ending one doesn't run across every day. Moral of the story: it never hurts to talk to a lawyer. Even aside from the mortgage company going bankrupt, I wonder if OP would have been able to claim ownership of the property through adverse possession? This is super cool. Keep the house for your kids or grandkids. You can pay a neighborhood kid to mow the lawn. Have your lawyer set up a trust outlining how the house will be divided among your heirs. My friend's mom has this colorful phrase for telling someone they're lucky: well, you must have horseshoes shoved up your butt. Oop had horseshoes shoved up their butt. And congratulations to them for it. Somewhere, a SOV CIT is trying to reverse engineer this. Hope we get an update to the update on this one. I had a friend in Colorado who ran a business out of his house and had a small business administration loan with his house as collateral. He refinanced his house in the early 2000s and the SBA was accidentally put as primary lien holder in front of the bank. But nobody noticed. Come 2008 and his business goes to hell, so he stops paying his SBA loan and his mortgage. Like this guy. It goes for months and then the bank tells him they're going to foreclose. Someone noticed the SBA is primarily lien holder and lets them know. The bank tells the SBA that the house is really theirs, but the SBA won't back down. The pissing match goes on for years. Eventually, the group in charge of making the banks liquidate bad debt tells the bank to back off. The SBA gets the house but takes forever to foreclose. He was in the house for 56 years rent-free. And I thought I was lucky for getting free garbage collection for the last 5 years.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.